going to actually work this time. Hello and welcome to the United Devil with me, JB. This is like probably the third time I tried to do this morning. YouTube is trying to do me dirty. Now, I even think the chat is disabled on this today, so that's not the best start. Anyway. How are we all doing this morning? Hope we're well. It is Friday the 13th, which I'm not sure whether that's a good or a bad thing. I've never believed in all that stuff anyway, like three drains and walking over three drains and all that stuff. So I'm not overly bothered about all that kind of stuff. But if you are a believer in that, don't go anywhere near black cats today. Just I would stay away from all that stuff today. Friday the 13th. So what are we all up to today? I'd love to know what people are up to. Can't get in the chat, so don't even know how you all are gonna get on today. So been a couple of reports overnight, really, I guess. A couple of changes, couple of different things that are happening, and particularly around the striker situation, which is always a tricky one. So now we've now entered the Ekitike race, which we can go over some of the stats. So what I want to do is I want to go over some of the stats of all those players, and then who do I think really is the best option still if we can get either one of those three players. So there is so we have Ekitike, Osimhen, and Gyokeres. So those basically three, I think, are the three that we are in for. Really, realistically, can we get any of them? Can we get neither? Well, neither of the three of them, but we can look at the stats. But I wanted to firstly just go over into some of the news that's come out this morning from Omar Berrada, the CEO. I just want to say I think he's one of the worst CEOs that we've had. He doesn't speak enough. It's really easy to speak at the end of the season and give quotes and that kind of stuff, but I don't think he does enough. I don't think he speaks enough, and I think that needs to change. So I'm not going to quote him, but basically he has said that United are in no rush to sign either Mbuemo or do any other business. So the Gyokeres deal even, and anything else, and we're not going to be rushed on any of those. Now, I did say this yesterday. I said this a couple of times. No, I'm in the know. I've just seen this happen a couple of times with us. I've seen this a lot of the times over the last 12 years and how we handle the business. There are red flags all over this. For me, I'm not panicking. This is not a panic. This is just how I perceive it as current state of affairs. Past history, what I've learned, what to expect, and kind of what we do as a club. So in Mbuemo, the fact that this isn't done yet, I know for all the reports out there basically saying that this is done, we're waiting to sign the deal. He's just waiting to sign the deal to come and we can announce it. And I'm sure that is the case. There are better people out there than me who are in the know, who know, and I'm sure that is the case. But there are red flags already for me screaming out here on the basis that I think this deal should have just been done. It's not done yet, so I'm a little bit worried about that and the red flags to me. I'm not panicked, just concerned the fact that the deal isn't done yet. And there are reports that are still not leaving the vicinity that Spurs still may come in for the player. This is a hijacked. I just think the media want this to be hijacked by another club. I think that they are waiting with their claws out just for this, and they are hoping with their bated breath that somebody can steal Mbuemo away, basically so they can write whatever that they are going to write. Now there are red flags for me on this, and particularly this morning, the fact that for some reason we seem to be putting it out there that we're chilled and we are holding fire and we're chilled and we're relaxed on these deals. I wouldn't be relaxed in terms of they need to get these deals done. And yes, we have done business early with one single player, but they seem to be living off one player and rumours. And again, this is still, even though this is early-ish, and the Club World Cup has maybe kind of skewed what other clubs have done because they have to do it because of the Club World Cup, but we can still do the business. Don't be fooled because we are early doors. My concern is now that this is going to spiral into July, and yes, once again, financial restrictions. If you look at the video that I did on PSR, basically we are PSR compliant because of the way that we structure our accounts. We basically funnel revenue through a different account. We have kind of two accounts, one in the Cayman Islands, because the Glazers don't want to pay tax. They don't want to pay tax to us. They don't want to give anything to the club, and they certainly don't want to pay tax to the UK people. And then we have a revenue. We have a another account, Red something or other. I forget the account name. So they basically manipulate that so they can use PSR to their advantage. But in terms of cash, they're not very cash rich. So for PSR, we're absolutely fine. There is a credit facility there, I believe, which rolls over again in a couple of days' time. So they could get a player on that if they wanted to. So the fact that this news has come out today that United are relaxed on Mbuemo does actually concern me a little bit, because why would you put that statement out? So don't be confused. There's a difference between concerned and relaxed and panic. There's no point panicking with this club because you just don't know what we're going to do. They're very good at winding the fan base up with all these different players, all these players that we are going to apparently get, or we've signed, or we're close to. And it doesn't surprise me. It will never surprise me if they drop the ball. So until a player is holding up that shirt, I will never believe that they're actually going to sign until they're holding up that shirt. And this is just through years of watching how we do business, watch how big clubs do their business. They just get these deals done. And the fact that Omar has come out today and basically said that we're not going to be rushing any of these deals, and there could be a long wait on these deals, is a real concern to me. And I'm sure everything's fine. I'm sure it's all chilled and it's all cool, and I'm sure there are people chomping at the bit out there who know more than me, who have their sources, who are this camera is going to be the death of me. I'm telling you, this camera is going to be the absolute death of me. I am. This camera is just. It's going to be the absolute death of me. Right, here we go. Let's get this camera back up again. Honestly, because I talk with my hands, the camera that I've got, when you use your hands, it can do things. So whenever I talk with my hands, it thinks I'm doing, not in that way, but it thinks that. So whenever I'm doing like hand movements, whenever I talk, it thinks that I'm doing some gestures to the camera, which is obviously not what I'm planning. So yeah, so it may seem like I'm alright, miserable I'll get when it comes to doing the transfer stuff, but I am excited, and I want the fan base to be excited about stuff, but I just know what we do. I've seen it so many times. Moyes is first window, Van Gaal, just everyone's windows. I just know. So this should be a really exciting time talking about players, which we will do. But until they are holding up the shirt, and this latest rhetoric around we need to be patient and whatever else. We do need to be patient. We need to be patient around the physical plays, but I'm not patient around this, on the people that own this club. And yeah, they're trying to do this different stuff, but until they sign players, till they act in a different way, I don't see them acting in a different way. Yeah, they're trying to get these players in, but I don't see actions. That's what I don't see. Okay, they signed a player. We've signed a player that we were in for, that no one else put in a bid. We were there. We went in with that bid. We got that player. Yes, we were quick on that deal, but there was no one else literally there to do that deal. So there you go. So let's try and take it. I'm gonna try to take this in another way. So let's look at three strikers. So the Gyokeres deal looks like that's cool. I here and now, I think that's too complicated for us to do. We stand corrected, and more than happily will be corrected on this if it happens. But history and experience tells me that I think this is too complex for us to actually do. So, but we can still look at his stats anyway. So Ekitike. So this is a player that I don't necessarily know loads about. He's a younger player and plays for Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. 22 years old, quick, fast. I think he's French, and seems like a really, really good player. But a Liverpool kind of type of signing, which I think that they were looking at him. The Chelsea's as well. Now, from what I've seen of him, from what I know of him, he does look like a Liverpool or a Chelsea player. That kind of lean, really, really quick player. Up and coming player. I think potentially world class. He's not there yet. You're paying, I think, for his age and how good he is at his age, his perceived age. I think there's a lot of growth between 2022 to 2026. Those 4 years can have a really big impact on the player. So he's still young, but he's still scoring goals in the Bundesliga. Just because you score goals in the Bundesliga, does that mean you're a great striker? I think the Bundesliga is okay. I can be said about any other league, but Ekitike, we can go through that as well. So Osimhen as well, and of course Victor. So we have our Gyokeres, Osimhen, and Ekitike. So Ekitike, he's 22. Appearances 31 this year for Eintracht Frankfurt. 15 goals at 22, which is not too bad, and 8 assists. So contributions wise, we're talking about 20, 23. Now, in a league where there are a couple of good teams every year, there are of course pretty much it's a one horse race league pretty much, other than every couple of years. But the fact that he's 22, he looks like he's played a lot this season. I think he's played 2,500 minutes, so 31 appearances across the season, 15 goals, 8 assists. And I think that's not bad for someone who's 22. I don't think the numbers are amazing, to be honest with you. I mean, his key passes are, I think, 1.3 a game. Crosses wise, 0.2 a game. But again, he's a striker, so I would expect him. If we are going for that type of striker, I think he's a sort of get in the box quick, get in behind, fast, and he's that striker that reminds me of I would say Henry, but he's kind of very much that sort of lean striker. What's this doing? He's very much that lean striker. Not necessarily of that sort of number 9. Not a number 9 I think that we need. We need an experienced number 9 that is not only physical, who is experienced, who's got that guile, who's got that kind of grit, and I think that he will definitely get there. I think he's definitely got that to grow, but I think he needs to grow a little bit more. But 15 goals, 8 assists, nothing to be sniffed at. Price tag wise, 85 million. Again, what you're doing there is that you are paying for potential. So they're basically saying that we want this investment back. So you're paying for future what they think he will be worth. 85 million pounds, 80 million pounds. I think if you're a Liverpool or a Chelsea or a City, you can afford just to take a punt, and if it doesn't happen, then you've taken that punt. But we've taken too many hits like that on an Anthony, on Erasmus. We've taken 70 million, 80 million pound hits on this place, and we cannot afford to do this. Right, number one for that player, can he handle the pressure of the price tag? He's 22. I just don't know that he can. Can he lead that line on his own? Is he experienced enough yet to be able to lead that line? I just don't know that. So I think as an expensive, talented, developmental, because he's still going to be that. He's not the finished article to play up front with another striker, maybe somebody a little bit older that he's coming in to replace maybe next season. I think that he'd be perfect for that. So at Chelsea, I think he'd be great there. Liverpool, I think he's perfect for them as well. So United-wise, he's not for me. I do appreciate the player though. I do think he's quick. I do think he's brilliant. But I just think we need something slightly different right now. Osimhen, I think that he's 27. Is he 26, nearly 27? I think he's 26. He's going to be 27 in December this year. So prime age. He is that right now. He is a world-class striker in terms of, when I say world-class, if we're talking about every striker that's ever been, and we're looking at top strikers, is he world-class compared to them? I don't think he is. Is he world-class compared to what we have in the world now? Yes, he is. He's definitely up there. He's aerial. He's brilliant. He's played 27 times this year. He is. I think he's just. I just think as a striker, this is definitely somebody that you want. He's played 27 times. He's got 26 goals. That's ridiculous. 27 appearances, 26 goals, 5 assists. So 31 goals he's been involved with, 27 matches. I know it was in the Turkish league, but the Turkish league is an interesting league. But he scores goals wherever he goes. He's 27. He's of that age. He's experienced. I think he's quite good in the air as well. For example, the duels in the air that he wins are 3.1. Ekitike is 1.6. So he's really good in the air. And this is what we need. We need players who are good in the air. We need players with that guile, cunning, quick, running behind. He is a proper striker. He is that. Get in there, give him the ball. He'll call for the ball. I think he's got a name out there for himself. That's not always his fault. He is a different sort of striker to Ekitike, as well, in the fact that he's definitely older. He's more of a. He's learnt his craft. Can he improve? I think he's in his prime. I think he can maybe improve a little bit. But Ekitike, he's where Ekitike wants to be in about 4 years' time. So Osimhen, for me, I'd definitely be happy with him if the price is right. So the Gyokeres deal could go up to 75 million to 80 million. If Osimhen was floating around 65 million to 70 million, I don't know how you feel about this, but I potentially would navigate and maybe push towards him. I think that if you're looking for an out-and-out scorer, you're not bothered about a player who can do other things like assist. He can still assist. He's still got 5 assists, but he's very good in the air. He's that all action in the box, looking to get on the edge of the last man, spinning behind, get in there, score your goals. 26 goals in 27 games is crazy. So I think whoever's going to get him, if he comes to the Premier League, wherever he goes, he's going to score goals. The only caveat to that is that we don't provide chances for the striker. Do I think that he can provide his own chances? I don't know. I think that certainly if nobody's providing the chances, I think he'll speak up and he won't let them get away with it. So I really think that he would be perfect fit for United. Those goal stats, heading stats. He headers the ball pretty much more than the other two. So Gyokeres is 1.1, Ekitike is 1.6 in the air, and he's 3.1. So aerial, fantastic. Goals, fantastic. And I just think he's an all-round. Brilliant player, to be honest with you. So Osimhen, I think is brilliant. And then last but no by means least, Gyokeres. Gyokeres, as we know, is an Amorim striker. He's, as you can see, he's an absolute unit. He's an absolute beast. 31 games, 39 goals and 7 assists. So 46 involvements in goals compared to what have we got? 31 and 23. So I think that if you're thinking about a perfect striker for Amorim, he's just turned 27, so he's a little bit older than Osimhen. But if we're looking at somebody who's going to get you goals, and he will get you goals, somebody who's going to be not only have Osimhen type of skills and play, but I think he's a little bit more than that. I think he's ahead. I think his all-round game, I think he's into his prime. I think he at present is world class. I think he's probably the I might get caned for this. I think he's probably the best striker in the world right now on form. 46 in goal involvements. He's played 31 games, 2,800 minutes. So he basically plays most of the games. Man of the match in 13 of those. His average rating is about 8. In the air, he's not as prolific in the air, but he's very good with his feet. And this is, I think, what we need to progress the team forward, particularly with the signings that we're trying to make. Keep the ball on the floor, get it forward as quick as we can, transition very, very fast, and just kind of smother teams on the break. He's quick as well. He's powerful. I mean, the guy's a beast. So if we're talking about the best of the three, who would suit? They just fit clubs. And over the years, I've just seen players who go to clubs and you just know that they're gonna be good. And I just know, like for example, like Haaland recently, you just knew other people, pundits, didn't, and they were just like, he's not going to be great. I can't remember who said that. Was it Redknapp or someone else? But you just knew that Haaland would go there and just smash it up. When I was younger, like Andy Cole, Shearer, when Shearer went from Blackburn to Newcastle, absolutely knew he was going to smash it up. When Henry came in as well, to be honest with you, Henry just looked like even though he wasn't great for about 9-10 games, he still looked good. And then you just know that players that get bought. And this guy, I think that he will be so transformative. He's everything that we need. So Osimhen would be a equalish in terms of goals, but I think his temperament's slightly different. But Osimhen is more of he's still world class. He's still good. He will still pick up goals, but we just need something a bit different. And this guy, he's just different. He's just different, and I think he's built for the club. I think he would genuinely get 25 plus goals in the first season. I think if he signs, I think we should bust the gut to get him. If we are serious about this year, serious about this player, serious about doing well, I would just go and get this business done. I mean, I don't think we should just be signing players for whatever money because we need money. You know, if we sign this player for like 100 million, we can't do anything else, or we can do little else. Is it worth it? My opinion on this is that I think it is, because if we don't get this player, and let's just say we sign another 4 players and we're able to do that if we don't sign this guy. But if we do sign him, we're a better team overall and we get more goals and we get high up the league. We may not play as well, but we'll get more goals and play. I would rather sign 2 brilliant players who are going to get those goals. Okay, we may not be playing this scintillating, amazing football, but if it gets goals and up that league for now to attract better players and be able to get into better competitions, I would personally rather sign 2 world-class players who are going to make a difference in the team, in attitude of the team, who are going to teach younger players, who are going to impact that team in a positive way. I'd rather get 2 world-class, experienced players who are going to get the goals and have that fight and teach other players, rather than have 4 players who will make us play, make us look better, make us more of a team, but will not push us further up the league and will not have that kind of impact on the team as much. Imagine seeing this guy. Imagine seeing him walking into like the training pitch every day. Imagine seeing him in the showers. Imagine seeing the way that he trains. Imagine the impact on other kids in the team. Imagine that on the youth team. Like, this is now what we need to do to get into this team. If this is the caliber of player that we can get, imagine the impact of that on the rest of the team. Imagine, you know, like a Mainu walking into that team. I mean, he's built it anyway, but imagine seeing this guy doing all this work. Imagine what that's going to do for that type of player. To see this guy, the way that he trains, the way that he eats, the way that he's built, the way that he plays. Imagine that impact on all these younger players. To know that, to get to that level physically, get to that level mentally, this is what I need to do. And this is one thing I think is underestimated about these types of players. I think particularly this player. Gyokeres will get these players. He'll be so transformative and so different for so many reasons outside of football. I think we should do everything we can to sign him, not for a ludicrous amount, because sometimes you do have to walk away from that deal, but just the difference in that team, just by having just a player like this in that team to inspire and show the rest of the team what you can achieve and what you can do, I think is worth paying the extra money. So I don't know what you guys think about that. I just think he's such a great player, and you know, of the 3, for me, he's basically still the one. I'm of the opinion that I think this deal's too complex for us to do. If we can get this deal done, then I will stand corrected, and I will then start to shift and actually think, okay, maybe this club is doing something different. Maybe we are trying to do something else. But until that time, until we can do deals like this, the complexity of these deals, then the jury's always gonna be out. So let's just see what the week brings. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what let's see what we can get this week. I fear that with the statement from Omar this week, that red flags again. So it's going to be interesting. I hope they can surprise us and deliver stuff. It's Friday the 13th. I hope there's no bad news on the signing. So let's see what comes out of today. So if anything changes, I will update you, come back on, let you know my thoughts and feelings. Let me know in the chat after the event if you agree with me, if you think there's another striker out there. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? I want to know your views on it all. Just come say hi, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, night,